Hello and welcome to Fiona's Creative Canvas. Creality reached out to me about their latest laser engraver and cutter, the Falcon A1, and as I love experimenting with new and creative things, I thought I'd give it a go. I've never used the laser machine before and this one is aimed at being beginner friendly, so let's see how we go. So I've selected a project that I found on Etsy, which is a layered whale art piece. Should give a very 3D effect. Okay, so I've taken it out of the box. It has two safety windows, one at the top and one at the front where you can gain access into it. And there's also a camera on this, which apparently is supposed to make things super easy. So there's not a lot of things that you have to put together. You just basically have to plug it in, I think. This is a hose for the back of the machine. You might be able to see there that you can exhaust everything out to the outside. This is called an air assist, and I think this is supposed to make your cuts nice and clean. There we go. That's the laser there. We've got the front that opens as well. It closes magnetically, so hopefully it's going to seal well. So let's loosen that off. Slip that over the edge. The ring to the back there, and then I'll put that out the window. So you take this rubber off here and push the rubber on to there, and then the tube goes in there. So we'll have to test that out, otherwise I'm going to need another little platform for it to sit on. And it's all really well labelled. It just says power, so plug her in there. The safety key, in case you've got some little kids around. There we go, I've turned it. I feel like I've missed a step because I've got all these parts. Okay, so turning on the switch. Okay, so I've just gone and got a USB extension just because I've got my computer further away. Let's plug that in. The next step it shows is to set the focus of the actual laser. So that's what this little thing is for, and it's got the different thicknesses of the basswood. I'm going to be using the 3mm, so that's the thickest one. Now put the thing in, go down to there, and now it is actually touching it. There we go. I'm going to close that off. Let's peel. This is the satisfying part, isn't it? I'll put my pipe out my window, and then we're going to head back over to the software and choose something to start with. Okay, so I was having a lot of trouble connecting it to the computer, and I just actually released the emergency button. It was actually flush here. I twisted it and released it, and then the light came on and the pump came on. So now I just have to see if it's going to connect to the computer. So it looks like there's lots of different things that you can actually download free within the software. Now this software is free, which is great. Otherwise you can use things like Lightburn. I've never used it because this is my first time using a laser, but that seems to be a popular program. But I mean, this is free, and Lightburn you have to pay for. So I've taken a photo of where my current piece of board is, and you can go to images here on the side, and there's lots of samples for trying out. So let's try and engrave. There was a cat here somewhere. There it is. And I'll just pick a space on my board just to test it out. So let's maybe just put it down here. And that will be fill engraving. So there's different options up here. You can change the speed and everything, but I've got it set there. And I wonder if we can cut that out as well. We put a rectangle around it, maybe. I want a line though. So I can draw a rectangle line. Let's go here. I don't want that as fill engraving. So can I add another layer? Line engraving. There we go. Let's grab the line again. So if this is line, like that, I want that line cutting. All right, should we try that? Let's try that. So it should cut out a square with the cat inside it. Okay, just wait for that smoke to clear a bit. And there we go. It's pretty cool. The engraving's very good. Okay, so Creality sent me these basswood boards and they came in this packet. I don't think these are going to get damaged at all. There's 10 of them and they are 3mm. What I thought I would do is mount them onto this 30.5 by 30.5 painting board. They're almost an exact fit, but obviously I'm going to be cutting out the shape as well, so there'll be a bit of the straight edge shown. There's 7 layers all up, and this will be my first layer. So I need 6 of these, which means the depth will end up being like that. So it should have a nice 3D effect. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So I want this bright and cheerful, and I'm going to paint it with a bunch of different blues. And I'm going to paint them first. I had to think about it. I want to paint them first because then if I tried to paint it after and it had all these nooks and crannies, I might get it on the edges, and I want nice crisp edges. But I need to paint them all. I think for this base though, I'm going to tape the edge so that I don't accidentally get it on the edge, because I think I'd like the raw wood. Right, I think I'm going to try putting it on with a sponge, circulating it. It might give it a bit of an interesting, like I could try and get a see-through texture maybe, but I'd have to water it down a bit. Should we try that? Like a stain? A little bit of water. Let's give that a mix. I'm just painting straight onto the raw board because I thought it might dampening my sponge as well. Yeah, it could give it a nice tint. Interesting. I hadn't thought about, I was gonna go like really hard colours, but now I'm thinking this could be kind of interesting, keeping a bit of that wood texture. Thinking. I think I need to go a couple of layers. I want it reasonably dark. And I think just keep going until you get the desired colour. So this is just acrylic paint. I added a little bit of Floetrol, which is a paint conditioner, and a little bit of water, just to thin it down a bit. Right, I might let that dry. I think once I get all the colours done and compare them, I'll work out whether I need to darken some and lighten others. I did grab out some risers that I thought might make it easier. We'll see. Let's try the phthalo blue. Very bright. Let's just add some water. Turquoise blue. So that one doesn't have much transparency at all. I feel like this colour isn't the right colour, but I might change that one. Might add a little bit of sap green into this one. A bit of water. And just a little bit of this colour as well. Oh no! Alright, let's try that on here. These I think are going to need to be a little darker. Okay, I finished painting all these. I've just stuck a heavy bottle on top because as they were wet they did bow a little bit, but now they are pretty flat. Obviously if they're bowed they might not cut equally all the way around. So I've got all these colours. This is the design, a pretty whale, and I've got the dark background which I don't need to cut because I'm using this base. So my first colours, I'm going with this one and this one. And I'm going to be finishing off like this one for basically a frame, which is only a fraction lighter than that, but quite blue. Now the tricky part, trying to make the most of the size, but make sure I cut it perfectly, and I've got to be able to do it every time. So I'm going to have to come in a little bit and have a little bit of wasted area, I would say. But let's try cutting our first piece. So you can see when I cut the cat, I've cut into the base a bit. Like it's not cut all the way through, it's just etched a mark. So I spoke to the people that sent it to me and said that I would be doing lots of cutting. So they have sent me a honeycomb base. So this is the honeycomb base. I've stuck some magnets on the bottom that came with it in each corner, and I'm just going to slide that in. It fits perfectly, and this just helps airflow and keeps the basswood or whatever you're using off the base. So that's meant for cleaner cuts, and is an extra add-on if it's something that you want. What I'm going to have to do is bring one layer in at a time, and I've set this layer at a specific size so that I get them all the same size. So I've written down that number, and I've checked the laser, so I've hit frame and followed the laser, and it fits just snugly on the piece. So the next step is going to be to cut the piece, and we'll see how we go. Oh no. Unless it's doing the inside first. Okay, I'll let it run, I guess. So I'm just hoping it does go around the outside, but everything else looks like it's cutting really well. There might be a couple of spots that I can get at on the back with the utility knife if it hasn't cut all the way through. But I'll have to check that once it's done. Okay, cut is finished. And it looks good so far. And I'm not sure how to go. Oops, take it out like this. I'll take it over to the desk. Alright. Oh, so that's just come off really easily. You can see I haven't wasted much. And there's a little piece here. Okay. And then we just get some glue and glue this on. You can see we might have to hold it down with something when we glue that on. just because it's a little bit wobbly, but I'm very happy with that. Those cuts are very clean. Beautiful. Okay, so you might be able to hear the next layer cutting in the background, but I want to get this one stuck down, and I don't want the glue oozing out, so I want to go easy on it. Oh, no. We'll dry clear. This I'm just using glue all, but you can use any sort of PVA wood glue. Alright, hopefully that's enough. I think that spot looks good. Put this on because it's quite heavy. Let's just make sure we get it all covered. Okay, you can see this piece has a lot more detail in it. I feel so scared pulling it out, like it's so delicate. But let's see. Oh. Alright. Here it is here. I think the outside's probably gonna... Oh, I can feel one little spot that I might just have to release. And you can see it just here. It's tiny. I could snap it, but I just want to do it that way. There's a few tiny bits. You definitely smell the smoke because it's done a lot of cutting on this piece, but that'll go away after a while, I would imagine. See how small that is, how thin it is. Glue the next bit down, and then let's see if it fits. Hopefully it's an exact fit. It feels a fraction bigger. I can't see it. So we're just going to line it up as best as we can because you can't really notice it on the sides. Got some fish on this one. Those sides are good. It's just the top and bottom. I stretched it a bit. So I import the next layer and change the size to match. Check the layers against each other to make sure they are the same. Delete the old layer. Change the new layer to line cutting. Go into the camera and take a photo of the new board that I put in so that I can line up my whale. And I know the bottom right corner isn't quite right from my calibration, so I just need to hit the frame button and check that the laser stays on the piece, which it did. So I just press start and off we go. Oh, this one's come out nice and clean. There's just one little bit there. Oh, and that popped out. Nothing stuck this time. Now, these all get offset because it creates a beautiful sort of shade. That actually fits really well. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of that and stick that one down. Just dabbing on the glue. You can see a little bit of glue squeezed out of the other one, so it's a little bit more careful with this one. That one is like floating, I think. Sides are good. It's starting to come together. Okay, so next colour will be this one, and this will finish off the whale. And we're going a light kind of border and then a dark outer border. Let's get this one done. There we go. It's hard to do this bit, so I'm just kind of tapping it on so it's a bit sticky. But I'll put the weight on it so that it does stick. All right. Pretty. I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup using a bit that's been cut off. I just love this project. I forgot this one wouldn't take quite as long. Trusting that this is going to be the right size. I'm really glad that I made the whale blue, because in the original drawing it was white. This is not quite white, but it's very light. But I like the colour of the whale. That was quick. Doesn't look like it's cut, because it's not. Don't move it. I hope I haven't moved it. So I just made a mistake and haven't changed the setting. I'm pretty sure I haven't picked it up. That could be a problem. I hope it's in the right spot. Looks like it's cutting right over it. Worst case scenario, I'll have to make another one. So let's find out if you can cut straight over where you've line etched. I don't think I moved it, so I think it's working well. But yeah, I didn't select the right type. I select line engraving instead of line cutting. Check it to see if it's, ooh, smoke. Whew, look at that. Smoke coming off the wood. But it looks like it's probably okay. I'll look in the proper light. I've had a good look and I can't tell that this was etched first. So I kind of moved it too much at all. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. Last piece. And here is the final result. And you can see I decided to go with the bright colours in the end. I think it just pops a little more, but I think doing the stained effect will give it a more rustic look. Check that out, it's very 3D in there. And a little fish. So thank you very much, Creality, for sending me the Falcon A1 to try. This project was a lot of fun, and I'm sure I'll do some more projects in the future. If this is something you're interested in, there's a link in the description with a code for $30 off. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye.